Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the LGE YouTube channel for another round in the 11th season of RTG. Of course, we were in China last week, and now we head over to Europe to the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort on the coast of the North Sea in the sand dunes. Quite an old school, shorter circuit. So hopefully we'll have a cracking race. Of course, full qualifying. Still telling myself that from last week for this season, and we've got 19 drivers tonight, so we're going to lose the bottom four in the first session, which was 18 minutes, but we were a little bit late to start the stream, and then we'll have the 15-minute session who's next to cross this line, and then Matthew close after him, and then we'll have the 15-minute session and the 10-minute session for Q3 at the end. So let's talk about the track. As I was saying, it's a shorter circuit here. It's 14 turns and it's 4.259 kilometres in length with 2.646 miles in length. And it's got the two DRS zones, one between turns 10 and turn 11, and then the final corner of 14, and then into turn 1 is the other DRS zone. And just to talk about quickly the drivers' standings, and we'll just talk about the first few drivers. The first few drivers, because we've now got a few uploads per week. If you are just joining us and you didn't check out last week's video, no worries, just check out the highlights video that was released a couple of hours ago. It should be in its own little highlight section for the Wednesday tier. It was a cracking race and quite a long highlights video to edit together. And if you want to look at the standings, check out our Moments of the Week video, which takes all 3 days into one shorter video and just takes out our top moments as commentators for the week. Talking of the standings, though, of course, we've only got one round to talk about, and Josh McGill took the win there with Short Marcus behind him. Chuck came home in third place, and AJ Baker, the other Williams, was fourth. Aki was fifth. Vil was sixth. Seventh was Phil. Eighth was Proddy. Ninth was Teichmann, and Chicken and Blunt rounded out the top 10, and Williams are leading the Constructors' Championship by 42 points as it stands. And as I said, if you want to look a little bit more in depth at the standings and check out the Moments of the Week video, or check out the Instagram at official_LGE. So at least we've got all that out the way. We've got Matthew on the top spot as it stands, and the track seeming to quieten down now. When I was talking about that, it was quite busy with laps coming in.
Yeah, I was sorting out other stuff there for a moment, but yeah, back here again in the scene. It's not really too much of a difference between the top 5 there. Oh, I was thinking for a second. Oh, bugger it, come on, doing about 1,000,001 things at once here. So...
Yeah, it was just me, don't worry. It was the top 5, with just over half a second between the 5 of them. We had a couple of drivers go out on the intermediate tyre, as we see quite often in the first part of qualifying. So Lee, we usually, in the first, because it's such a long session, we do usually just sort of chat a bit about sort of nonsense or F1 nonsense. On board with Proddy in the Aston Martin. Honda and Aston Martin for 2026 though.
I mean, thingy, Red Bull is still classed as, is still technically a Honda engine, am I right in saying that?
Yes, because they're all frozen now anyway, aren't they, till 2025, so yes.
So it's the same, it's essentially just a different name on it, because was it a Red Bull engine or something?
Yeah, it's called a Red Bull powertrained Honda engine now, is what it's called.
Right.
But yeah, so basically they're just going from one project to another.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
so.
yeah, I think that shows quite a lot of intent from Aston Martin, leaving Mercedes and going off on their own, because obviously they were taking quite a lot of parts from Mercedes.
Yeah, I mean, it does show that they are really willing and they've got that drive to win. But as of if they're going to have that, the car behind it, is Honda going to be as good as it is, or is that just Red Bull's efficiency with the aerodynamics?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I watched the video earlier, and they said in the video that McLaren were very closed off from Honda to kind of open their doors so much, and then when they went to Toro Rosso, obviously now AlphaTauri, it was the complete opposite, and that's how it seemed to work. So, but got to remember, Honda did actually win a world championship now, didn't they? Drivers' championship, but and technically last year as well. Really, I know that not really. It's more like a title sponsor for an engine now, but the heritage of that engine, the DNA of it is a Honda engine.
Yeah. Are you meaning the 2009 championship?
No, I'm meaning the Red Bull 2021 championship.
Oh right, I thought you were meaning Honda as a team.
Oh no, they're still world champions though, aren't they? Even though they're just an engine supplier, but they're still world champions.
Yeah, because I remember back in the early 2000s and that, when Honda was an actual manufacturer.
Yeah.
In Formula One. I think I remember, what was it?
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that this time. They're doing that. Oh, just dropped my controller on the floor. No, I don't think they're doing that this time. But of course, there is those big rumours with AlphaTauri being sold. So I thought that might have been a way for Honda to buy a team. But
I mean, right now I remember back a while ago when it was 26 cars on the grid, and then now it's
20. But we are rumoured to get another 2 teams by 2026 or for 2026, which I fingers crossed, I hope for, because I think 24 cars is the perfect 22 or 24 cars is the perfect number for Formula One. I think 26 is maybe a bit too much. Just like I think 23 races is a bit too much. Don't get me wrong, I don't really complain. I like watching it, but I think more about, I'm thinking more about from more so the teams, actually, more so mechanics being away from their families and things like that for so much of the year. It must be difficult for children and spouses.
Unless maybe they come with them then for holiday, essentially.
Yeah, but of course in the winter as well, they don't really have a holiday, do they? Because it's all getting the next year's car ready as well. So they always say it's one of the most intense parts of the year, don't they?
Yeah, and it's meant to be family time at that point, but hey ho.
So, but yeah, 24 cars, 6 manufacturers at least confirmed. So we can have 6 customer teams, or I did like the thought of Andretti coming in with a Cadillac General Motors engine, whatever they would call it.
Yeah.
Have 2 American teams, but.
You know what? People that are watching live right now, what are your opinions on it? More teams? Good, bad? What do you think? I mean, it would be good, I would say, to be honest, because then you would see more drivers on the grid and more seats sort of open up for the younger drivers coming in as well.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously it wouldn't work like that, but it'd be a nice thing, wouldn't it, to maybe, if there were 6 manufacturers and 6 customers for every, obviously it wouldn't happen like that. Unfortunately, it's never a perfect world, but to have every customer have a different engine, so there's only 2 teams with the same engine on the grid, it kind of makes it feel a bit more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with if you have a junior program as well. If you have a specific team with an engine, you can try. Yeah, like a Red. Yeah, Well, they regard it, not so much now, but they did regard Williams, didn't they, as a bit of a Mercedes B team, didn't they, for a long time? But it's not so much now.
Mm-hmm. But we're seeing some of these times, well, all these times ramp up now. I think there's only Chuckle who's just coming around the final corner now. Finishes the lap, we'll see where this is going to put him. First, 1:11.406. Up by 2/10. Not bad there.
We've got Mad Max on a lap in the Alpha Tauri. So Max has had a bit of a downgrade for this weekend. Home Grand Prix. As watching him out the banking in turn 14 and towards the line. Goes up to 11th fastest, so safe for the time being. I think Tej has just finished the lap there, actually. And maybe he's going again. I think he was trying to go again, but he spun out of turn 1.
Is it just weird? That thing just spun like on a dime.
Yeah, it did. I do notice in this game now, if I don't know if he was on a cooldown lap or not. I'm not sure. I don't think he was, but I have done it a few times, especially getting back into the game again the last couple of weeks. If you're going around quite slowly and then you just give it a bit of throttle, it will go.
Yeah.
Like, especially in the slow speed.
Oh yeah, like the slow speed corners are a pain. I would find it in this game. It was just a nightmare. You would just come out, put that slight bit too much throttle on it, and bang, there you are, going into a wall.
The one thing I know they've already done it. They've done it for this year. I hadn't really noticed, but going back and looking at these cars, just for the first time, really checking on this McLaren. I'm still with Tej, and looking at the floor of last year's car compared to this year, it's a lot higher than this year than it was last year, because it's pretty much skimming the floor in the 22 car.
Yeah, it is like it's totally flat to the floor, and it's. I think that was why the porpoising was happening so much, as it was just.
Yeah.
It was just getting too much downforce.
Apart from Red Bull.
Apart
from Red Bull.
Yep.
So, we've got 2.5 minutes left on the clock. I think we've got Phil, who's just completed a lap there. And Lee Craig about to go for a fast tour of this Zandvoort circuit, I think, as he makes his way down to turn 1. As he makes his way through turn 2, difficult corners to get right, and then through turn 3. And in the game, the low line seems to be a faster way to go about it than taking the high line, as we see in real life. It's quite a spectacular thing to watch. One of the things about Zandvoort, I do actually really love seeing that. Seeing F1 cars going right high up on the banking, is he makes his way through Master and into turn 9, and then going back the other way again for turn 10. As we make our way down the back straight, which is a DRS straight, and then into Hands, and then down towards the penultimate corner, which is quite a fast right-hander, and then into the banking of turn 14. Pretty easy in the dry, but it certainly is a challenge in the wet. As he makes his way across the line, goes third fastest. That was a very decent time there from the Mercedes driver.
Yep, it was indeed. They managed to get a 1:11.7. Let's see. So we've got Nixa, who is just coming around turn 10 now, and will be a way to open up that DRS. Are they going to be able to get out of the danger zone, not out of the drop zone, sorry, and be able to get through into the next session? They need at least 6/10 off their time. I see they're coming around the bank in a turn 14. DRS will be wide open now on the final stretch to the line. Are they going to be able to get it? No, they are. They're down on their time by a 10th. So they won't have enough DRS to do it. I think they got damage. No, they've not. So Swanee coming across the line. He's down on his time, so ain't going to improve.
Yeah, it looks like that's it. Max Jones is... I don't think he's on the lap. He's barely got any battery left, but he's safe anyway, regardless. Qualifying was over rather quickly there, first pass anyway.
Yeah, so now we're moving on to the next second of 3 qualifying sessions. Sorry, having a bit of a brain fart.
It's full quali now. Why did no one tell me?
Oh my god. How did you not know? Oh no. That's going to just be a running gag this whole season. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. So, top. We'll have a wee quick rundown. So we've got Chuckle, who finished P1, and Prodigy in second. Third was Lee Craig. Fourth was Marcus, and Matthew was P5. People who are being eliminated are Aki in 16th, 17th, Swanee. Teachman was 18th, and Nixa was in 19th. They will all be getting eliminated and won't be moving on to the next qualifying session. So, here we go.
Yeah, so we've got another round of qualifying to come up for you next, and that's 15 minutes and 15 drivers to take part in that one before we get to the final stage in qualifying. If you're watching and you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help and it's much appreciated, as well as liking the video, and especially drivers who are racing in RTG. If you like the video, more people get to see it. You'll be able to show off your skills to people watching on YouTube and other drivers who want to get involved in the league. So please make sure you like the video and subscribe. That would be appreciated. So we're about to get into the...
Or else.
I was trying to be nice, but yes, or else.
Or you'll not get like that pure beast and ass content.
So, as we now go into the second part of qualifying. Still got bright sunny skies. I don't think we're going to have a wet race today, because a lot of the drivers came out very, very quickly, which is usually a good sign to show that it's going to be dry. Of course, we did have we had mixed conditions, didn't we, last Thursday in Belgium, which went from went from dry to wet and then back to dry again right to the very end.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird one, to be honest. But yeah, it did provide quite an entertaining race on the weather front, that I would say. Just make me think of the weather up in Scotland. It just doesn't know what it wants to be, really. One minute it's raining, next minute it could be sunny, next it could be snowing. It could just never make up its mind, really. It's like going to a kid in a sweetie shop. You pick one sweetie.
We're still like that now, Lee. I don't know what you're on about.
You're not meant to tell them, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God. As we watch AJ Baker start his first run in Q2. And Chicken Blunt's and Mad Max follow close behind. Nice steady stream of cars now going down the start-finish straight to start their first lap. As you watch AJ Baker now go through the end of Sector 1 in the roller coaster section of the circuit, as he makes his way down towards Master, and then around turn 9, which is 180 degrees, and then in a few metres we go back 180 degrees again the way we came, and down the back straight towards the chicane, which is turns 11 and 12, so this is a shorter DRS straight of the two. As we make our way down this short stretch towards turn 13, and then around the final corner of turn 14 into the banking, which is supposed to help aid some overtaking as we cross the DRS line and go towards the start-finish line. It was a 1:11.972. He's the fastest of the three drivers to have set laps so far, and then Matthew comes along and puts it into first place. He puts himself into first place, and then Prodigy goes even faster. See Short Marcus cross the line for fourth place. Now Chuckle goes into second. You can see And go up to fourth, and now Chuck, who slots into fourth place, knocks And down to fifth. The last driver to set a lap will be Lee Craig. He's just coming through turn 9 now.
So that the times are quite close between quite a few of them. But you see Phil on his slowdown lap, I do believe. He's just spun it at turn 9 there. So, and he can't even get any grip on the rear of that Haas. He's just turned slightly, and it's just looking him around. Probably doesn't help with the temperature and them rear tyres. So Lee Craig's managed to put in a time 1:12.452, so right close behind Matty Jones there.
Yeah, his teammate. So what we've been talking about, Leaf, well, we were talking about it a few weeks ago. I seriously think now that we're going to get very similar or the same graphics as you see actually on TV now.
Ooh.
I think. Did you see the Vegas on board?
Yeah.
What do you think? Bumpy, wasn't it?
Yeah, the track was a little bumpy at some bits, but then that's to be expected with it being a street circuit. To be honest, didn't expect it to really be smooth. I mean, look at was it turn 6, 7, just after the casino section at Monaco.
Yeah.
You got that bump in the road. Yeah, so I mean, it's just the circuit with it being a street circuit. It's always going to be quite bumpy. But yeah, the track does look quite interesting. Can't wait to have a wee drive around it in just a few weeks' time.
Well, of course, you get Qatar as well, don't we?
Oh yeah, true.
So we get 2 new circuits to drive. And I'm quite glad we still got Portimao in China, because I really do like Portimao.
Yeah, it's a good track. It's kind of like this, I would say.
It's unique, I think, Portimao.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like this track here, but it's a bit more set for like racing, I would say.
Yeah. Have you seen the
I
new track
mean,
in Hungary as well?
no, mind you on about that actually.
Yeah, they've built a new track in Hungary called Balaton Park or something like that, and
Mm.
they're only going for a Grade 2 license at the moment, you know, the circuit grade, but they say they've made it to a Grade 1 standard, they believe anyway. But it looks a lot better than Hungaroring.
I mean,
It's got like 3 really long straights into heavy braking zones.
ooh. But then again, you don't want the whole calendar filled up with all these really fast sort of tracks all the time. You know, like bloody Monza and Baku and that. Pretty much, you do prefer like a mixture.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. Belgium, Silverstone,
Yeah, see, that's
Brazil.
what I mean, like, exactly, I mean,
Austria.
quite technical, like, not so much
Yeah,
technical
this
tracks,
one's quite a technical circuit. It's not a very fast
Yeah.
circuit. Old school, this one. Old school
Yeah.
circuit is Mad Max goes into 4th place.
Oh, Ville. Ville is around at the turn 10.
So if he stays stationary for too long, he'll actually get disqualified. They take no prisoners, really, Lee.
No, you're right there, I've got to say that it is a bit crap the way it just disqualifies you a wee bit if you're just waiting for traffic to just like get out the way, and it's just like, no, you're not getting to, you've got to go and either get disqualified or go out and crash into everyone, pretty much. It's a lose-lose situation at times, I would say. It's just brutal.
So as we watch Phil, I thought he was actually starting a lap. I think he's going for another cool down lap there. Yeah, he must be. He's got fuel to go again. This is one of those circuits, Lee, where being a short circuit, it's got that added luxury of, you know, even if you do the minimum fuel, which is 5 kilos, you can get away with doing another lap.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the track is quite short, so then, yeah, just like you said, it takes that bit more there to burn it down, and we'll see some Prodigy getting into the 1 minute 10s. First one into the 110s here today.
Sorry, Lee, I was just checking something. So Vil now start his lap. I'll be back in just a second. Lee. I'll stay with Vil for this lap.
Yep, so see, Vil into turn 1, nicely keeps it right into the apex. Got a slight left-hander on the right, needs into the wall at turn 2 there. And if he doesn't get moving soon, he's going to end up getting disqualified, which may actually happen because he's not going to be able to get out there, is he? Oh, he is. Unfortunately enough, he doesn't get beached there, as you don't really want to be getting stationary at the bottom of that turn 3 corner. I myself know personally that I can just wedge you there, but let's see, we've got Chicken and Blunts coming around the final corner. He was 800 up on his time coming into sector 3. It's only enough to get him up into 10th. That drops Jesper into the danger zone. Chicken and Blunts is still at risk of dropping into the elimination zone. Phil will be able to go into the pits to see who else is on a lap right now.
I think Matty Jones is on a lap. Down in the bottom 5 at the moment.
Yep, he is on a lap, just came around turn 10 now. Into turn 11. And then right back on himself at turn 12. We'll see how he is going to do as he's coming around this corner 13 there into the bank of 14. Ooh. That was AJ Baker there just ahead of him, getting out of the way nicely there. And he just goes ahead of AJ Baker with 111.3. Just under 10. Baker.
Short Marcus is now coming to the line, goes third fastest. I'm pretty sure he'll be safe. That was a really good lap from Matty Jones. A really good lap. Lee Craig's just about to start his final attempt. We've got Phil on potentially his final attempt. I think it will be, because he won't have the battery to be able to complete it. I think he does have Matty Jones up ahead of him. He now gets out of his way. As we make our way down towards turn 11 and turn 12. As Chicken and Blunt is still in the pits, and Andoni is also in the pits as well, so they're going to be out. We've got Phil just about to complete his lap, moves up into 4th place. That does drop Andoni out. He's actually just come out of the pit lane now, come out far too late. He's never going to be able to complete an out lap. So we've got Chuck just about to finish his lap. Leahy's in the danger zone as it stands. Or driver at risk, should I say.
Fortunately enough, he's just away to come across the line. So you would think he's going to put in a 1 minute 1:11.2. That puts Mad Max in the danger zone, who is still in the pit. He thought he was safe.
Yeah, and Ville's coming around the final corner now of turn 14. As Matty Jones retires, is Ville going to be able to get through? No, he stays 15th. And that is where he'll be starting. We've got Lee Craig. I'm not sure if Lee Craig's on a lap. I don't think he is. We've got Jesper coming to the line. He didn't finish last week in China. He moves up to 9th place. So Matthew is on the cusp, but we know he likes to pull it out of the bag right at the final moments. We'll see if he can do that in the third part of qualifying as he makes his way around the final corner. I'm sure this will be a lap to keep him for another session. And Lee Craig is not improving, so I think that could be it. I think Ville's just trying again, and he is up on his time as well, so there is an opportunity for Ville here to actually stay in for another session. Jesper's the driver at risk now. He thought he might have been safe, but that might not be the case as he crosses the line, goes 11th, and it saves Jesper for another round. But that does mean Ville will be starting 11th.
That was so close, 16 thousandths of a second. And Ville could have got through. That is just outrageous. Just how close these two were to each other. So, this is the end of the second qualifying. Just wait to see Chuckle and Jesper getting wheeled back into their garages. And then we'll be able to have a wee quick rundown of the order. Moving on to the third.
Yeah, we've got quite a few teammates actually, Lee, in the top 10.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of Ferraris in there, a couple of Williams, a couple of Haas, a couple of Aston Martins, I think. Nope,
Yeah.
just
And then
one.
we got an Alfa Romeo and a Mercedes.
Yep, so we've seen Prodigy first there, and second was Chuckle, third was Chuck, Matty Jones was in fourth, Matty was fifth, Short Marcus sixth, Phil was in seventh, eighth AJ Baker, Bugatti Sullivan ninth, and 10th is Jasper. They will all be moving on to the third and final qualifying session. We've got Vil, Mad Max, Andy, Chicken and Blunts, and Lee Craig, who won't be moving on. Will be starting 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th on the grid for the race coming up in just a few moments' time. So, on to the final qualifying.
Wow, in the top 8 for the last part, I'm just taking out, it was a 1 minute 10.956 for the end of Q2, so we'll see if that time gets beaten. And there was 5/10 lead between the top 8 there.
Yeah, I will say that was really close from the top 8 there.
So we're just waiting for a few drivers to ready up into the next session. As we get into the final part of qualifying, with the 12 minutes remaining and the 10 drivers that we have left, we've already got the Haas mechanics busy in their garage, so that means that I think it's Phil who will be coming out of the pits first. Probably also comes out, as well as a Williams, so there's a mad dash to get out for a few drivers. As we said just a moment or two ago, there is a lot of teammates in this final session for the Constructors' League. That could become quite interesting if we have that all season long.
Oh yeah, definitely. With the teams being quite evenly matched, I would say it is going to be quite fruitful come the end of the season, and how they're going to fare come the switch over to the new game in just a few moments' time.
Weeks' time.
Weeks' time, sorry. I'm getting too thinking into the race now. Thinking about the race coming up. But yeah. Who's going to be able to manage to come to grips with the game? That's one thing I want to know.
So, I think we've got Phil up first.
Yep.
Then we've got AJ Baker. Then Proddy. So we've got Phil, AJ Baker, Proddy, then Matty Jones, and then Matthew after that. So we'll see what Phil can do as he makes his way through the fast turn 7. And then you have to move the car slightly right as the track sort of comes in a little bit before turn 7, and then we go around turn 8 and turn 9, now turn 10. And as he makes his way down the back straight, which is curved slightly to the left, and then into the right left chicane of turns 11 and 12, before this short little dash before turn 13. And the track has every driver on it, and Phil is invalidated out of the final corner, or into the final corner, out of the penultimate corner. So we've got AJ Baker up next, who's going to be the first driver to set a lap with a 1:11.4, and then that gets smashed by Prodigy with a 1:10.9. Now Matty Jones crosses the line, goes fourth with a 1:12.1, so I'm sure he can do quite a bit better than that from what he did last session. 1:11.1 for Matthew. Bugatti crosses the line with a 1:11.8. 1:09 for short Marcus. And we've got Jesper making his way to the line now. There's a 1:12.2, the slowest of the 7 drivers.
So we've still got Chuckle coming around the final corner now. Let's see what time he's going to be able to put on the board. There we go, a 1:10.8.
Yeah,
just peeping Prodigy.
Yeah, and that's already quicker than the last session. So it was a 1:10.9, pretty much what Proddy has done. So we have gone slightly faster. We've got Chuck on a lap now, so Chuckle is on provisional pole, but will he be able to stay there? He'll have another run to be able to do, like everyone else, as Phil comes out the garage rather quickly. This is a track, he did come out first, so he may have the time to actually do this lap, potentially on the same tyre as he just did, and then a fresh set at the end. It's close, but he might just have the time as Chuck makes his way around the final corner. There's a 1:11.350. Yeah, is Lee or Italy is Phil on fresh tyres? Yes, he is.
Yes. May as well stick on them fresh softs.
So he's got the circuit all to himself for this lap, as he invalidated out of the penultimate corner a few minutes ago, as he makes his way around turn 1 and through this tricky section of turns 2 and 3. It's just easy flat from now until we get to turn 7. As I said, just move slightly right before turn 8. So I think he does have time, Lee, to actually do another lap after this. He will do.
Yeah, he will. With, fortunately enough, it has been a bit of a shorter track that came the shaves off.
Evening, bro.
Yep. Oh. Yep, it came the shaves off a little bit of time there. Sorry. Yeah,
goes into 7th.
Ooh, 8,000.
Oh, he spins. He's lost a bit of front wing.
Oh, and Jesper's tired.
Interesting. Interesting. So we're going to have a moment of calm now before we get back underway with these drivers' final runs. And as this circuit is quite short, there's a bit of a longer gap between runs. As their lap times are rather quick around here, with just over a 71 second lap, give or take.
Yeah, so got a bit of time. This is just the calm before the storm, really. I mean, kind of thought we'd see some people maybe going out again, quite possibly.
Maybe they don't have the tyres to do it. They just want to save them for if they need to use them in the race.
I mean, fair enough, but just slap on an old set and then just, you mean, you never know. But hey ho, I'm not in the driver's seat, but yeah, we're moving on. We've got just under 4 minutes left of this session.
Yeah, so we can have about a minute and a half to. Yeah, we're gonna have about a minute and a half to go before we see drivers coming back out of the garages. So, just having a look at all the times. So there's quite a bigger gap than there was last time around.
Oh, Matty Jones is already headed out.
Yeah, so that's a little bit early. He might do a slow warm-up lap.
Unless...
Or you never know, he might, and doing a double cool-down. Warm-up.
Make sure the tyres are up to temperature and get as much of that fuel out as possible to make his car as light as he can. That'll be quite an interesting one. See how he's going to be able to fare compared to the rest of the folks who are waiting. We've seen Phil out also, who's just coming into turn 3. And the yellow flag coming up there for some reason.
So, Matty Jones just coming around the final corner to start his final attempt, potentially. We're not sure just yet, but I think with the way the battery's draining, he's on a flyer now as he makes his way down into Tarzan. And on towards turn 2 and a left, right, and left again as we go through the banking. Cuts the corner quite nicely there, turn 6 and now through turn 7. And just get the car as wide as possible as he tries to actually avoid the curb on the left hand side. Takes that corner quite wide, then gets up on the curb at turn 9 through turn 10. We've got to get a really good exit, and there's a car actually almost in the way. That might have just put him off a little bit, a bit hesitant to get the throttle down as we make our way with Matty Jones through turns 11 and 12, which he's done rather nicely. Now into the penultimate corner, which is also a really important corner for getting a good exit, and making our way round turn 14 at the banking. He goes into 6th place, so unfortunately not as good as the time as he did in Q2. And he hasn't got enough time for a cool down lap. He hasn't got enough battery to go again, so we'll just try and find the driver who's going to be first up to settle
Jones there. Just seen him just coming out of turn 3, getting the power down too much. Ooh,
and Proddy as well. Yeah, Proddy, did you see that as well? He got the tail out on the exit of turn 3, so that would have really hurt his time, and it has. He's half a second down on his time.
Oh yeah, so just seen that in the background there.
Watching
the playback.
Phil cross the line for his final attempt. He stays 7th. He did go 2 tenths faster as the checkered flag is now out. We've got a Ferrari up next, I believe, of Chuck.
Yep, just coming around the final banking. Turn 14. Final stretch of the line, he goes into the pits.
Oh, I don't think he validated, did he?
Nope. But we've got Prodigy, who doesn't improve, unfortunately. Let's see who's the next one.
Short Marcus is next. Marcus. He goes 3rd fastest. Where's Matthew? That's come round the penultimate corner. I think he is the next man. Of course, he's been renowned as AJ Baker crashes out in qualifying on the exit of turn 12. Is he going to go on to pole? No. Goes on to the front row, but that is so close between first and, well, the top 3 are so close together, but Chuckle, who stuck it on provisional pole in the first attempt in Q3, has kept it there to take pole position for the Dutch Grand Prix. So we've just got a moment or two to wait before we move ourselves into the race lobby. Have you got your mic on there?
Yep, I am here. Sorry, I'm just a little busy there. But yeah, we'll have a wee quick rundown of the top 10 for this Dutch Grand Prix. We've got Chuckle who got pole, Matthew coming close in second, only 19 thousandths between him and Chuckle. We've got Protege in P3, fourth was Marcus, fifth was Chuck, sixth was AJ Baker, Matty Jones in P7, eighth was Phil, Bugatti in ninth, and 10th was Jesper. So, moving on to the main event of the evening. Oh, Bruce Buffer impression there.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how many laps we're going to have here. I just didn't look at that before we
30,
started.
I think it is.
No, it's more than that. I think it's 36. I think it's 36. Right. So.
Right. Okay, then we'll hear.
Oh, someone's already readied up. That's a surprise. That doesn't usually happen.
That's a no-no. Because we are meant to get a 30-second wait.
Yeah, I thought that.
So we're going to have a bit of a shorter time for people to sort their strategies and
well, just the strategies, yeah, tyres. Fuel loads, that's it.
Fuel loads, finalise small parts of the setup, and yeah, you were right, 36 laps.
Yeah, it is a short circuit, so I'm not surprised with 36 laps. So, Lee, we've got 16 drivers on the mediums, got 2 drivers on the softs and 1 driver on the hard tyre.
We've got somebody on the softs?
2 on the softs.
Nixa and Jesper.
Yeah.
I reckon Teachman's made the best call, but then again, this is just coming from a spectator side. I'm going to keep my eye on him.
Yeah, Teachman's an interesting one, just being the only driver to start on the hards. In Monday, personally, I've started on the hards both races, and I'm definitely not starting on the hards next week. Because both races I've just not had a good start with them. And by the time they come in, I'm just sort of nowhere. So, mediums or softs next week for me. But yeah, just the one driver on the hards, and as I said, Jesper might get a good start in 10th place, and if he gets a early safety car lead, he's made a good call.
I mean, yeah, definitely. If he's managing to get that, if a safety car does happen,
or a VSC or a safety car, yeah.
Yeah. But the timing has to be right, depending on how long these soft tyres are going to last. It has to be near the end of the stint, and then that'll force some of these medium runners to pit for the harder compound tyres.
Yeah. So you've got drivers doing spins. I've heard of other leagues actually banning this now.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, it's effective, but it looks silly. As we're waiting to see the last couple of drivers form up on the grid. We've got Chuckle on pole for this race. We did have Josh McGill winning last time out. He's not here this evening, though. We've got 5 red lights. And we're away for the Wednesday tier of Road to Glory. And Chuckle gets a really decent start there on the medium tyres. And he's going to stay into the lead as we go into turn 1. Got a Williams on the inside, a short Marcus going side by side with the Aston Martin as they make their way through towards turn 3. As we go slightly further back, AJ Baker trying to use the high line to get around the outside of Chuck, but doesn't have the momentum to be able to get that overtake to stick. It seemed very, very good behaviour at the moment, eh?
Yeah, it seemed to be that everyone managed to get away quite cleanly. Oh, and you see Nixa going up the left-hand side there of Teachman, turn 8 there. He was going to have a wee peek around the outside, but Teachman closed that door on them. And now he's going up the inside at turn 10. Is he going to manage to get this move done? Are these hard tyres going to manage to flare out? Litter on the brakes. Oh, and there's been a collision!
Oh no! Oh no! I think Swanee.
Yep, he got hit in the back from Nixa there as he was battling with Teachman. Jesper fight.
Yeah, Jesper's desperately trying to make up some places, and that's what he needs to do. But obviously, it's such a hard circuit to overtake at, especially before the DRS is enabled. As Andy's trying to go around the outside of Ville there, almost got it to work. As he's still trying to hold on now as we go through towards turn 7. He's on the inside. It looks like he's going to make this work, and does. Moves up into 11th place.
Nice move there from the Red Bull man there.
So the top 6 staying as they started.
You see virtually everyone. Oh, see Ville and Andy are battling out again.
Oh,
turns 12. Oh! And he's lucky on that double tap there from Andy. Got that a little bit too close to Andy and he got knocked. And then got knocked again.
Oh, Chicken and Blunts is out. Chicken and Blunts is out. He lost it at turn 14, just going into the right-hander.
Oh.
And is that a safety car? It's a VSC.
It is. VSC. Lee Craig instantly pitted there. So he's into the pits, he's going on the hard compound tyre. Is this going to be a good call for him, or is it going to be too early? And the rest we'll find out in just a few moments. When is this VSC going to end? It'll be in just a few short moments.
On the field, we're still quite close together. Of course, the DRS will be activated, especially if we get going about now. We're about to go on to the DRS straight. And of course, the VSC doesn't affect that so much. It's interesting to see Lee Craig pitting that early onto the hard tyre. We'll see how long he can last on that tyre.
And we see Teachman, who started on the hard compound, is actually.
I think we're about to get underway, Lee. I think. We're just about to get underway. Drivers are just starting to speed up. Oh, it's a drive-through penalty for Lee Craig after he pitted under the VSC. Oh no.
Oh, sorry, we see Mad Max and Andy are battling out in the straight, they're side by side. And it looks like Mad Max has just got that little bit extra speed going into he's got the inside line at turn 1. And it looks like Andy's going to have to switch back, but is he going to be able to manage to get it properly done for his second turn? And he gets squeezed out by Mad Max. Mad Max moves up into 11th place. Nicely done there from the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, and these two have got the McLarens bearing down their necks now as well after going wheel to wheel through the first 3 corners. So they're under threat, and Andy's out. Andy has spun it. And that could cause a safety car. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't, as the car is actually on the track. And see, this is what we say. We've moved it to reduce because standard was a little bit too much, but that's the time where a safety car was needed.
Yep, definitely. seen Nixa making up a place on Aki there. So this actually proves and goes to show how this track is, how technical this track is and how easily it is to mess up and spin out, as we've already going on lap 5 and we've already had 2 people crash out, unfortunately, of their own accord. See Nixa and Aki battling out, Aki managing to gain that position back on the Red Bull driver. Battling out for 14th position. Nixa's fighting and looking for every sort of angle that he could go for the attack. Relentless on that Alfa Romeo driver. When you can see him looking up the inside at turn 8. He's looking for any sort of way that he can get up into that 14th position and try and make the most out of these soft tyres. Because you know he'll have the better traction, but not for long when these soft tyres start to wear out. And it looks like he's going for the move at turn 10 there, getting right on the accelerator. DRS will be wide open for him. He's going to have to get outside line.
Well, we got rain, Lee.
What?
We got rain.
Oh.
We got rain. No wonder they went onto the soft tyre. No wonder. As Matthew and Chuckle are jostling for the lead, we've got rain in 2 consecutive races with our commentary. Is Racing Matt saying good evening to yourself. We've just got rain, Matt. You've joined just at the right time. Izaki is now in the pit lane. Of course, got intermediate tyres being put on for the drivers at the back. Is Swanee?
It's too early. It's too early, I think.
Oh, maybe worth a gamble for them. We'll check back towards the front. The medium tyre would still be a very good tyre at the moment, and that's probably why some drivers chose to take this tyre, and they probably thought the rain was going to come a little later than it did. As we see the DRS now disabled, usually a good indication for drivers whether to pit or not. So you say maybe too early, Lee. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the perfect moment for them to pit.
But then, looking at the track, it still looks...
Oh, some pit and some don't. Yeah.
Oh, Prodigy, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, and just seems... Looks like AJ Baker tried to get a jump, and it looks like he got a broken front wing. Somebody end up with a broken front wing there?
Not too sure. So we've got drivers out of the pit
it's the
lane.
Haas of Phil. It's the Haas to Phil. He tried to get a little bit of a jump, I think, on someone, and now he's got a broken front wing, the end plate at the left-hand side.
Yeah. As...
Oh, and AJ Baker's into the wall.
Oh, no. Has he done that?
Turn 3.
And
there's a safety car. Safety car it is.
Oh, and that is absolutely saved the top four's bacon. Jasper's in 4th, started 10th on the soft tyre.
That is actually quite incredible from...
I called it.
Yeah, and I do agree, Matt, it is going to be an interesting race.
Yeah, sorry, I just saw that without commenting. I think Jasper's going to come out in 6th. I think Proddy will. Proddy will jump in.
I reckon he's going to be able to get 5th.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. 5th, not 6th. Sorry, 5th.
Even then, if Prodigy's jumping in to serve his 5-second penalty, which could be worth it, but...
Intermediate tyres go on.
Prodigy stays out, Phil gets a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, Chuck's just coming into turn
Chuck
1. Yeah. Oh, Chuck's got him. Oh, who's got that place? Who's got that? Who's got that place? I think Jasper's got it. Yeah, he's going to have to get the place back. Yeah.
Yep. So...
Wow. So
Jasper
great
just got him out the pits.
He had a lot of luck
perfect.
on it. He had a lot of luck on his side, I will admit, but that was a good call from Jasper.
Yep. So we've just got Chuckle, Matthew, and Short Marcus. They all managed to keep their positions. Fortunately enough for them. See AJ Baker into the pits now. I reckon we'll see if Phil came in to get his wing sorted. Yes, he has. So he's dropped down 13th now.
So we're going to have another lap under the safety car, my guess.
Yep, another lap. Maybe 2, I would say, possibly.
Yeah, maybe
As see,
2.
AJ Baker's only coming into turn 8 now.
1 second, Lee.
Yep, that's no worries at all. So, anybody in the chat there, any ideas as we're looking? And it looks like it could go into full wets any moment now, actually. I'm looking at this and it could be... I could be wrong. I could be wrong, folks, but what do you think? Could be going on full wets in the next few laps?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because look at the spray that's coming up from the back of their cars. And that's only when they're going at the slow pace that they are at right now.
And a quick shout out at the minute, Lee, to Teachman.
Yeah.
Moving up 10 places.
Nicely done from him. Managing to keep it nice and consistent.
AJ Baker, though, has lost 11 places in the back of the field.
Ooh.
This could be a late call, Lee. I'm looking at the track map.
It could be, as I see, AJ Baker is just coming into turn 12 right now. Nope.
No, I think we're going to have one more lap, yeah.
Is it just me? Or has it stopped raining?
No, it's still raining. It's
Oh,
lightening up, though.
Yeah.
It's lightening up.
I swear this is just like playing games from my head.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to have one of these crazy weather races now. I'm kind of got my fingers crossed for that.
Half of them are on dries, half of them are on winters. So we've got Jay Whitlam in the chat saying, hello guys, nice and rainy weather. Well, yeah, it is nice, but rainy,
Maybe, yeah, not so nice. Yeah, not so nice.
Nice from a commentator's point of view, I'd say.
Yeah, from us watching, it's nice.
Get to see all the drama. Oh, and it looks like Prodigy near enough allowed Jesper to get up the inside there. Trying to see if some of these drivers are struggling or not. As I see this race control giving us the notification that safety car is in this lap, so the safety car will be speeding away to come into the pit while it's going to be Chuckle who's in the Alfa Romeo who's going to be leading us off for the restart of this Grand Prix lap 11.
And of course, we haven't really had any racing in these conditions. They've done 3 laps under the safety car. The tyres will not be in the best condition. They'll be tentative into turn 1. We might see some carnage as we go down into turn 1 as we just start to go through the banking. Chuckle keeping it very close to the wall, trying to get himself a really good exit actually as he now powers out of the final corner and down the start-finish straight, and we get ourselves back underway again. A couple of drivers weaving in the background, trying to get their tyres up to temperature. As we go a bit further back, the McLaren getting very close to the back of the Mercedes and Matty Jones. And we've got a Haas just overtaking the Red Bull of Nixa. And now, we've got a McLaren who's hit the wall, Teachman. So he's got himself a lot of damage. The whole front wing's gone.
Oh, yep, that's him going to need to pit and get some fresh tyres on. So unfortunately, well, get a new front wing also.
Yeah,
sorry,
fresh front wing, yeah.
So that's a bit unfortunate for the McLaren driver. Could see Phil and Bugatti battling out. Teammates.
Yeah, the
here.
two teammates.
Bugatti managing to get past Phil there. Oh, and
Nixa
because
as well.
that battle was allowing Aki to get around the outside of Nixa at turn 13, sorry. Now Nixa's got to inside for the bank in the turn 14. Aki's still there. He's got the slipstream. He's
going to go for it.
To the inside of turn 1. Going on the inside, the turn 1. Nixa and Aki are battling out. Oh, and Nixa gets a little bit pushed onto the outside there. Doesn't manage to get the grip. Unfortunately, it loses that position. Aki up into 12th. Nice battling from the pair of them.
That was some very good wet weather driving there from the pair of them. And as you were saying that, Matthew and short markers have switched positions, and now seeing Matthew run wide, lose 2 places there. Jasper's now up into 4th. It's 3rd and 4th for the Aston Martins. Chuck now goes around the outside of his Ferrari teammate. Struggling in these wet conditions. Matty Jones now going to try it on the inside, on the exit of turn 10. Will turn into the outside, but I think he's going to be able to outbrake him, and does so. So now he lies in 6th position.
So we'll see Phil's going to have a go coming out of turn 14 on Vil there. Phil and Vil battling it out, coming down the start-finish straight. Is Phil going to go on the outside of Vil into turn 1? We've got Vil managing to defend quite nicely there in the McLaren, and Phil unfortunately doesn't manage to get the move done there.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That's not easy.
Oh, see Matthew onto the wet compound.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting to see how he is going to be able to do. Is he going to be any quicker and manage to close that gap to AJ Baker, who's just ahead by 17.5 seconds right now? And it doesn't look like it, as he just went flying off into the barrier, and I think he's already got a bit broken end plate at the front.
Yeah.
Yep,
he does, and loses it again. I don't want to. That seems like a very strange place to lose it, Lee. Teachman now gets past him.
He is trying to control it, but unfortunately he's just not got the grip. I think he made that call a bit too early.
So we'll have to see him come back into the pits. The rain does seem stable at the moment, though. As we've got a little while to go, Lee, but just have a quick mention. Me and Lee get to pick the driver of the day. If it stays the way it is, try not to put any jinxes on this. I really will try. For me, Jasper at the moment, Lee's taking that honour today.
Yep, definitely up to now, but still it ain't over until everyone has crossed the line, unfortunately, so we'll have to wait out, but up to now he has been doing quite excellent, managing to be nice and consistent. So AJ Baker managing to get past Lee Craig there at turn 12. Just missed that there, unfortunately, but nicely done.
Oh, we're seeing Phil and Bill again. As Phil tries to make his way around the outside, bit of contact for good measure, and that actually aids in his overtake. I don't think he meant to do it, but he's now moved up to 8th. So Phil's in 8th, Bill's in 9th.
And now Bugatti is going to be gaining on Vil for that 9th position and hoping to stay as close as he can to his teammate Phil, who's sitting in 8th place, just 2 positions ahead of him right now. Got Chuck breathing down the neck of Matty Jones, itching for that 5th position. Is going to manage to get it here with the aid of the DRS. I don't think he is, he just didn't manage to get the grip coming out of turn 10 there. He's Sloven using up a wee bit of that ERS, trying to get that little bit extra push to catch up for the exit at turn 14. Ooh.
So Short Marcus and Chuckle have been exchanging lap times for the last few laps. It hasn't changed all that much, but now Short Marcus actually is gaining quite a bit of time. Just got into the 1 second window, but of course that's not going to matter in wet conditions.
No DRS to aid them right now, unfortunately. Race control says nah. Matty Jones gaining ever so slightly. See a yellow flag. Who would that be? Let me see.
It's Lee Craig.
Oh, it's Lee Craig. Turn 7. No, I'm pretty sure I've seen a battle. It's Nix and Aki. They're side by side at turn 10. Nix is on the inside of Aki, going around, and it looks like Aki gets that better momentum and the traction coming out of turn 10. But it looks like Nix is going to have to get inside line for turn 11, trying to get over as much as he can. But unfortunately, Aki says no. Going into turn 13, he looks like he's trying to get around the outside there of Aki, but Aki again defending nicely there and managing to get the better traction.
Yeah, this midfield is very close together, even in these conditions, as Matty Jones has left the session. He's going to want to get back in quickly. I don't know if you're going to be able to invite him. I'm not sure if you got him as a friend or not. He's going to start falling down the order, though, so he's going to have to get in quickly as he can. It's Lee Craig now retires, but does so in the pit lane, so that's not going to affect the race in any way. We're now down to 16 drivers out of the 19. Matty Jones now loses another place, and unfortunately for him, he's got this big queue of cars coming up on his AI car thick and fast.
Yep, so he's going to end up losing out quite a bit while he ain't here, so this is going to give all the other folk out there a chance to get ahead. 2 seconds.
So Phil is now trying to go past Mad Max, and does so with ease. Makes his way into turn 1. The skies are starting to get a bit lighter now, and we may see the rain get better or stop eventually, because we've still got a fair way to go in this race. So we have Matty now get back into the session again, but he's now fallen down to 8th place, or his AI car's fallen down to 8th place, so hopefully he'll be able to get back in his car before Bugatti catches up. His Proddy's hit the wall at turn 13 there, 14, I think he's in 14, and
Yep.
for the second week in a row he's actually had an incident in the race, looks like of his own making, and he's going to have to dive into the pit lane. Silver lining being the pit lane wasn't far away from the scene of the accident.
Seeing this gap between Aki and Vil still quite close now. So getting down to 2/10 there. So, is it just me, or is it lightening up a little now?
I just said that just when you were away for a second. I just said it looked like it was starting to lighten up. I don't think we're going to have this rain for the whole race.
I'm not gonna lie, looking at the stream, it looks a lot heavier on your screen. Like, it looks like it should be full wets. I'm
Right.
not joking. That's weird, like, you're getting well more spray coming up.
Not sure why. Not sure why, but this fight for third is certainly intensifying, and Jasper's having a really cracking race.
Yeah, indeed he is. As you see, he's moved up 7 positions right now. From P10.
So, next up, looks like he's got some speed to unleash, and he's just going to try and get past Aki and a couple of other cars ahead of the Alfa Romeo. But he's all over the back of Aki.
Yep, he's embracing his inner Max Verstappen and trying to be a bit more relentless and aggressive, trying to find any which way and make a mistake by putting as much pressure on the Alfa Romeo driver as possible. He seems to be looking at every single opportunity, every window, look at that. And unfortunately at that time he took a bit too much risk.
Yeah.
And that's a little Swanee pass. Next ain't going to be happy about that, and as you see, he's right back on the attack there. Jump back into the substance and get that position, but unfortunately doesn't. He goes for the dive down turn 1. Swanee leaves the door open at the apex.
But he just doesn't. He just doesn't. Yeah, he just doesn't have the traction on the exit.
I will say the outside line at turn 1 is better, I would say.
Yes, it always has been for the last couple of games. It's always been the outside line at turn 1 that's better.
Yep, so we've got Matty Jones. He's back in, he's just behind Man Max. Not too far behind, we're seeing Chuck and Jasper's. The gap is still staying about similar, seeing the
Bill's made a mistake, I think. And it's allowed. Oh, as they clash actually, as they go through turn 10, and They've also got Nexa, who's had an incident just at this chicane, or he dives up the inside of the McLaren there. What a great to overtake from the Red Bull driver that could be in the moments of the week this week. And, well, what a move.
There's a bit of contact there between the back of Hill and the front of AJ Baker there. That ended up making AJ Baker a little bit uneasy going around turn 12 on the exit. So we're seeing some drivers jumping into the pits. What are these drivers going to be jumping onto? Is it a fresh set of intermediate tyres? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
so,
I think some people are hoping that the weather will get better and they're just going to try and stay out. This is an interesting point in the race now with strategy and tyres, because the Inters will be going off, and that's why they've pit again, thinking we're pretty much going to go to the end, or will go to the end on the intermediates.
Sorry, Chuck's making a move at turn 9 there on Jesper, looking up the inside. Oh, and it looks like Chuck's just slightly tapped the back of Jesper at turn 10 there. You can see him, he's getting ever closer to Aston Martin there. Trying every which way possible to try and get that third place and get up onto that podium and start chasing down Sean Marcus. Phil jumps into the pits.
Yeah, so it Phil's another. Whoa!
Phil, what are you doing?
Swanee's in the pits as well. AJ Baker stays out.
Listen, that's saying about the overtake.
Yeah, the overtake. Oh, his Jesper's now gone off the track. Oh, he has to give up that third place. He's been defending so well. But he made an error there and went off to the left-hand side and got himself on the grass. Lucky to keep himself facing in the right direction. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Just at turn 3. That looks like it would have been Swanee. So what are the drivers at the front going to do? Are they going to pit this lap and go on to a fresh set of intermediates till the end? Or are they still hoping that weather will clear up? Chuck stays out, Jesper stays out as well. And the Mercedes and Matty, the two behind them, Bugatti and Aki, stay out, as well as AJ. So T stays out. Is Phil, who's the first driver on the new sets?
Phil.
It's Phil, yeah. They're not too far. He's not too far behind this queue.
Right, so let's see. To the leader, he's 40 seconds to the leader now. Whether this is going to work out for him or not, if he does, he could possibly even get a podium here if he manages to keep the pace up. He could possibly just jump Chuck and no more. As there's only an 18-second gap roughly between Chuck and Phil right now. So Sean Marcus and Chuckle, those two are still practically side by side. Nothing separating them just yet.
Yeah, he's been keeping the pressure on for most of the race. I wonder if these two are going to try and stick it out to the very end. They have got a pit stop, pretty much a pit stop advantage as well, though, Lee. Actually, it probably would.
Yeah.
It probably would be wise for them to pit again.
It would be at one point, but then again, it's going to be. I think it's a game of chicken at this moment. Is who's going to pit first, or if they have knowledge that the weather is going to lighten up or not.
Well, it doesn't seem to be the case just yet.
People staying out.
Yeah, they're both staying out. We're going to have 11 laps remaining. And Phil, he's getting closer. The advantage that Phil has right now is the cars ahead and not too spread apart, really, are they, Lee, to Chuck? As Matty Jones has left again, so having more connection issues. That's not going to do him any favours.
There's only 15 seconds. Right now, he is one of the fastest cars on the circuit. Right now, on the fresh inters.
Yeah, well, you can check actually. What's Phil just gone that time compared to his competitors, actually?
I'll have a wee quick if it allows me.
I think it's in Race Director.
No, sometimes when I pause, go to Race Director, it just unpauses the game. It's weird. Yeah. So, on Phil, he's doing 121s, 0.5 and 0.7, and we'll compare that to Chuckle. We'll see what times he's doing. He's doing 122, so mid 122s. He's doing at the moment.
And Short Marcus is actually just pitting.
So he's about a second quicker at this moment
than the race leader.
Than Chuckle. So Matty Jones has joined back, so his Short Marcus is going to be able to get the jump on Chuckle with having the fresh inters. This is going to be a good battle to see what's going to happen. He's going to get out in front of Chuck in the Ferrari, so
yeah,
clear ground there.
He's just got to make sure this first sector or two, he keeps it nice and steady and just doesn't make any mistakes with these tyres not being up to temperature. It doesn't take so long for the inters to get up to temperature, and then hopefully he'll be able to pull away from the Alfa Romeo behind, and it is going to give Chuckle an ultimatum now. Yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult for Chuckle though, Lee, isn't it? I was just thinking about this. Is it? He's now vulnerable from an undercut. They've been matching times all race. Does he hold it out to the end?
And AJ Baker battling out around turn 9 here. Teachman's got the younger intermediate tyres, and he goes around the outside of turn 10 on AJ Baker.
Phil as well. Phil might be going for a dive.
Yep. He thinks better of it.
But Phil has got superior grip as we come out of turn 12 and into turn 13. This could be easy pickings for the Haas drivers. He almost goes around the outside of the turn 14 banking, switches back to the inside. He's just got to send it here into turn 1, hasn't he? As he actually doesn't do that. But he's still on his case though, isn't he? He's still pressing him as we go into turn 3. But he hasn't let the door open just yet. And AJ Baker is still holding on for the time being, but for how much longer? And looking at the front, the Chuckle still hasn't pit, and there's only been a second that's been dropped.
Oh! Yep, sorry, it looks like Phil got half on the grass there going into turn 8 there. Yeah, I will say that Phil will be getting infuriated with this right now. This is allowing Teachman is up the road by almost 3 seconds now.
Yeah.
Let's see what the gap to the leader is now. It's still staying the same, but he's just not able to get past. And that's the problem with this track, I would say. That sometimes it's just an absolute nightmare in order to get past someone.
As like he's having a look up the inside of Bugatti at turn 1. As they make their way through turn 2 and up to the banking of turn 3. Still stuck behind the Haas as well as Phil, who is, as Lee said, probably getting very frustrated. You can kind of see it in his driving actually. He's almost pushing him out of turn 3, trying to get past this Williams.
The thing is, AJ Baker's making that car stretch across the whole track, and it's excellent defending from the Williams driver. Making that car as wide as possible.
I really think if Phil's going to get past, he's just going to have to send it probably into this corner here. He's starting to run out of he's starting to he's going to lose the tyre grip. So
yes.
if he's going to go for it, he needs to go for it, and he just needs to have faith that his tyres are a lot better. You can just see it out of turn 14. He just doesn't have the straight line speed, so he's just got to try and have a go on the brakes.
And it doesn't help that he's used up his whole battery, so he's just not got this, able to get the straight line speed. He's going to have to just, like you say, send it into a corner and just hope for the best. But even then, again, he's just got to hope and pray that don't make contact.
Oh, he's Teach at the high line there at turn 3. Tried to get a run on Aki, and just the rear of the car didn't agree with what he was asking the car to do. As Phil now has got a chance as we go into turn 9, 180-degree turn. Looks like he's got it this time. Just pushing quite wide, just to try and make sure he's got the place. And he does now, so he eventually gets up into 9th place, but 3.3 seconds is the gap to Tej ahead, and he's got a couple of cars ahead of him.
Yep, it's going to be a bit of a grind to catch back up, but he's already took off half a second just in a couple of corners. How quickly Phil is gaining on Pageman is incredible. That's down by a second already. That's just proving the advantage that he's got on these intermediate tyres. And AJ Baker is just holding him up and just defending like a lion, as Prof says in the chat section.
Yeah, I saw that. But the one person who's not actually using the tyres to their advantage is Short Marcus. He's gained a few seconds, but nowhere near enough to get back into the fight now. Unless Chuckle makes a mistake, I think he's got it in the bag with a handful of laps to go.
Yep, I think he has, but I think Short Marcus is just playing it cautiously right now, as he realises that Chuckle isn't going to pit, so all he's got to do is just bring it home really now. He's not going to be able to catch up in just the short amount of laps that's left.
And Teach trying to go around the outside at turn 10, gets on the curb though, and that unsettles the car. And now we've got Phil almost up into the mix now, as Teach just trying to go any which way to try and get past Aki, also defending like a lion.
Yeah, all of this battling it out is helping Phil, though. And he's managed to gain over 3 seconds in just
2 laps.
Well, one whole lap, technically.
Yeah, and now it's a 4-car train. Oh, it's Teach looking up the inside this time. Sneaky little move there from the McLaren, and also maybe gives
Oh,
Phil the advantage as well as Aki then gets a bit out of shape as well as Phil just behind as well, and that was a really good move from Teach, especially in these conditions, Lee. Today it's not renowned Zandvoort for overtaking, but we've had a bit of a cracker today in the wet.
yeah, definitely.
And Matty Jones now trying to pressure that Aston Martin, who's just was still in fourth, Lee, and as we are now getting, we've missed that. That's Phil and Aki who have come together. Is that going to be a safety car right towards the end of BSC? I don't think so. Oh, he was doing so well. Phil's just going to have to concede possessions now. He's got no front wing. Nor is Aki. Oh, that's a shame he missed it. Didn't see what happened. We might be able to get some POVs for the highlights next week. But that's a shame. Teach now trying to get past Bugatti as he now tries the high line at turn 3, but just doesn't have the momentum or the grip to get far enough alongside for a challenge. He's trying it now though. He now goes onto the grass and that was a heart in your mouth moment there for Teach. Are you there, Lee?
Yep, I'm sorry, it's just kind of lagging for me, so I'm not getting the best sort of view of it, unfortunately. But it looks like Tiedemann is just still right on the tail of Bugatti. Unfortunately, with how strained these tyres are and how worn down they are, he's just not able to get the traction.
A lot of them have got to be getting to the limit of grip. He probably gets past AJ Baker then, moves up into 8th place.
Yep, nicely done there from where was it?
So Jesper, now we've got 2.5 laps to go, Lee. Who are we thinking is our driver of the day? And who in the chat, actually, because I know we've got a few people talking, who do they think is the driver of the day as well? We'll make this a joint decision. I'm still thinking Jesper, personally. Tej as well, maybe? Jesper or Tej?
Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, I will say probably Jess, but I will say he's managed to be nice and consistent this whole race.
Yeah, he did have the one moment when he ran on the grass, but apart from that, so yeah, so we got Jay Whitlam saying Tej or Tej now we just missed that. Tej got past. We were just watching him. Sod's law that is he now gets up into 6th place. So we got to vote for Tej. We got to vote for Lee's got to vote for Jesper. We got to vote for, if Prof is still watching, I'd like a vote from him. If he's still watching, that'd be nice. I'm undecided. We're going to wait till the last lap for me to make my mind up of who I'm going to choose.
See, the only way for Tiedemann to probably get past Matty would be if there was a mistake from him, as he is closing in on Jesper just ahead. Oh! No, that didn't. It was just lagging. For me, that looked like Matty slipped off into the water.
So as we go on to the final lap with Chuckle as he actually makes his way around turn 3, so already into his last lap. Racing Matt says Tej. So We got a coin anywhere.
Up 12 places. I will give him up 12 places from
In the top
18.
six. Yeah. Well, he's actually closing now on Matty Jones as well, because he's
quite rapidly.
Yeah, quite rapidly. So we're on the last talk for a lot of. He's certainly.
Is he going to be able to get Matty Jones?
Well, we'll have to wait.
Flying.
We'll have to wait and see. We've got plenty of time to be able to see it, because before we do so, we're just going to have to see Chuckle cross the line. He won last week in Belgium on Thursday, and we'll be back, of course, again tomorrow at 8 o'clock for that one. But then he wins 2 races on the bounce. He has dominated this race since going into the intermediate tyres, and he wins the Dutch Grand Prix. Short Marcus is about to round the final corner to come home in second, pitted, but it wasn't able to close that gap. But a decent result for him. As we go a bit further back, Teach almost closed up enough.
Yeah, he had a little bit of an error going into turn 10 there, and he just got that wee bit on the grass and it just pulled him right in there. But
as we see Chuck cross the line,
I would say Teach went for driver of the day. So
yeah, and apparently it's his home race as well, so he gets a little bonus point for that. So yeah, Teach is our driver of the day today, and the McLaren is finished in 6th place. Got a drag to the line, though, Lee, between 8th, 9th and 10th and 11th. They were all very close together when we got to the line.
And just missed that between them, but I could see there's only like 6 tenths between them. Quite a few of them.
4 cars, yeah. Well, you can see them on the track map as well, just going through turn 3.
Yep.
Swanee crosses the line, 13. So yeah, overall, I think that was a real decent race at Zandvoort, and especially with the mixed conditions, that was a big thumbs up for me, that one.
Yep, definitely. I mean, don't usually really expect as much overtaking as what just happened there, but yep, I would say that was a lot better than what I was expecting. So yeah, we'll have a wee rundown of the grid in just a few short moments. So the goal was see the podium finishers coming out. So I'll have a wee quick rundown there of the order as it finished. So we've got Chuckle, who finished in P1, Marcus in P2, Chuck P3, Jesper was finished in 4th, Marty in 5th, Tiesman, our driver of the day, finished in 6th, 7th was Bugatti, Prodigy came home in 8th, 9th was AJ Baker, 10th Mad Max, next in 11th, Vil finished in 12th, Swanee 13th, Aki was 14th, Matthew and Phil 15th and 16th, Lee, Craig, Andy and Jacob Blunt all did not finish this race.
So, as I said, that was a decent one from Zandvoort, a very decent one. Obviously, we've got decent drivers to give us decent racing as well, but yeah, definitely a nice surprise there from Zandvoort. And tomorrow night we will be at one of my favourites to race and commentate on. We've got Interlagos tomorrow night, so the home of the Brazilian Grand Prix for round 2 of the Thursday tee-up. So hopefully that will be a real interesting one. And next week on... Well, actually, before we do that, because as you know, if people are watching, we've got LGE 3 days. We've got RTG on LGE 3 days a week now. So on next Monday with Short Marcus taking the helm for that race. I should already know what it is because I'm racing in it. It's Australia next Monday, and then on next Wednesday. Let's start thinking about what we're doing, Joe. Next Wednesday, as I said, we've got Abu Dhabi and Yeah, and tomorrow we have Brazil. So thanks very much for watching. Keep your eye out tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the highlights video from last week's race at Belgium. And we'll see you again tomorrow night. Make sure to like the video, please, and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's goodbye from me and from Nate.
Peace out.